Hey everybody, I'm Amy. Welcome to Feather Trail Tarot, and also welcome to my blog, Grow Me Up. As in grow me up, just like I want you to put your hand on your chest like you're pledging allegiance to the flag and say, I'm growing me up, right? Anyhow, the topic of the week is Mr. or Mrs. Right. Now, depending on whether you're into women or men, that would define Mr. or Mrs. Okay, so anyhow, I'm going to, first off, I'm going to read you guys a poem, like I always do. But I'm going to do the poem first, okay? And then we're going to get into these other scenarios. So, here we go. All right. This poem is actually called Mr. Just Right. Okay, so it says, Dear Mr. Just Right, I'm busy making myself right for me, the best I can be. Bore me. If I met you now, I would come up slightly short. I need to be the best me for the right you. See, I barely just let me in. The deeper I fall into myself leads me to you. Who would have knew? Who would have figured? All of a sudden out of the blue. One day a while into myself was you. So, I hope that makes sense. We find our true person within us. We do not find it by looking out there, out over here. We find it by knowing who we are, our true purpose. If you are feeling not right, if you are feeling like you feel like, oh, I need to find somebody. I don't like to be alone. I don't want to be alone. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to end up with somebody who's just like the person that you were with before. In the same exact situation, being treated the same way by the same old thing. Okay? So, I wrote down some other stuff and I'm going to read it to you guys. Okay? So, here we go. Someone is either it or they're not. We cannot change anyone or make them someone that they're not. If you, let's say, met someone new and you start to notice what you like and don't like. Okay, now no one is going to be perfect. So little things like pet peeves that might be annoying but livable, well, we all have to pick our battles and nobody's perfect. We are not perfect, even when we set these bars. I'm talking you set your bar as to what you want. Maybe you made a promise to yourself that you would not end up with somebody who's a heavy drinker. Maybe perhaps like an ex. Okay? Maybe you have patterns of ending up with someone who has addictions in general. The habits and addictions have to be changed by the individual. We cannot save anybody. Maybe you're in a relationship with someone who is unfaithful and cheats on you all the time. They're not going to stop because they have to stop it within themselves. Okay? I don't care how many times they promise you. If you feel it in your gut, then they're going to keep doing it. They're not going to stop. I was cheated on. Okay? I came home one day and there was another woman in my house, and her bra and panties were all inside out in the living room. Okay? And I did see warning signs. And I just was in denial and I didn't pay attention. And, I'm not saying that it's okay that he did that, but at the same time, I'm grateful for it because it actually taught me how to be smarter. It taught me how to use my intuition. It taught me that I deserve better. Somebody once told me, Amy, if you go back to him, you will never know how great you are. You will never know your self-worth. And you know what? It's true. It's very true. You couldn't pay me to talk to him ever again. I have no desire. I actually think the situation's kind of funny now. Okay. But when you're going through these things, you don't think that they're funny. Okay? So if you see warning signs, if you have someone making empty promises to you, guess what? They're not going to change, and you are not going to be true to you. When you compromise your bar and lower it, you compromise yourself. And you know what? Honestly, you should be saying, how dare I treat myself this way? That's what you should be saying instead of saying, how can you treat me that way? Well, you're letting them. Every person I've ever been with, they treated me that way because I let them. Right? We don't do anything that we don't allow in. That's it. It's very simple. I didn't used to see it that way, but now, as time has gone by, I think, yeah, I didn't have to deal with that. That's a bunch of BS. So, we are our own worst deceivers, our own deceivers. We convince ourselves not only can we change this person, but we can accept it. When we lower our bar, we compromise ourselves. Again, when we lower our bar, we compromise ourselves. I don't care, this is not related to men or women. Women cheat on men and men cheat on women. People have drug addictions. People have codependency issues. People are abusive. You don't have to be a man or a woman to be abusive. It's one or the other, okay? I'm not blaming it on the sexes here. This is not, maybe one day I will do a video and I'll make it for women and I'll make a video separately and I'll make one for men. But in all reality, people are messed up in the head. They oppress their BS on people. And that's just that. Right? Okay, so this is what I want you guys to do. Because someone is either it or they're not. That's it. And once you see those little red flags, you better get out of Dodge. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just turned 40 in March, and let me tell you something. I ain't got no time to waste. Ain't got no time to waste. I'd rather be alone. if I'm going to choose to be single and know that I'm going to treat myself good, then I will be my own Mrs. Right for myself. We find the person, our soulmate, our long-term partner, within ourselves. The closer you get into making yourself happy, you start to feel what's important to you, not what making yourself important to somebody else. You should always be your own person. I don't care what anybody says, okay? I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you have a house together. You need to have your own thing going on, your own hobbies, your own life. They say, I want to share my life with somebody. I have these things, I want to share them with somebody. That doesn't mean they become the everything. That means they become the cherry on top of that sundae you created, not the whole sundae. All right? So, this is what I want you guys to do. I want you to make a list of what you want from a partner. And I want you to, and it can be as big as you want. One side looks, one side personality. Then I want you to also write down your red flags. Okay? This is what you do. You take 5 things. Make it 6 if you want to even it out. 3 from personality, 3 from looks, the highest on that list. Okay? Then I want you to fold it and I want you to put it in your wallet. Then I also want you to write down the things from the red flags that is just absolutely not. I want you to put that in your wallet too. Those red flags, I'm telling you right now, ain't nobody's gonna be perfect, but those red flags, don't get involved with the person. You're not gonna change them. Okay? They have to change themselves. We cannot change anybody. We can't cookie cut them. We can't do nothing. I hear couples all the time. They've been together 15, 20, 30 years, and they're like, oh my God, they complain about the same thing over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what they do, though. This is who they are, and you're complaining about it. It's obviously not going to change. You know, I mean, some things you just have to say, okay, that's really not a big deal. But if it's major and it really, really bothers you, maybe it's going to make the relationship toxic. No. Somebody puts their hands on you, has addictions to alcohol. Maybe every time you're with them, you just can't get the relationship going. You can't do nothing. The last relationship I had, the guy was abusive. Extremely abusive. It took a lot to open up my eyes and get out of the situation. And now that I look at it, I think, oh my God, there is nothing we could do to make it grow. There was always roadblocks. Always roadblocks. Always roadblocks. I feel like I had the worst luck when I was with him. Nothing would work. If it doesn't flow, let it go. It might be hard and it might be heartbreaking, but let me tell you something. Especially if it's new, it's better to know now and get out of it and be sad for a little bit than it is to be with somebody for, years and then feel extremely heartbroken, or what's even worse is wasted time. You can mend a broken heart. You can do self-love. You can do all these things to fix it yourself, but you cannot buy the time back. And then you're going to be sitting there going, I wish I wouldn't have wasted time on this stupid ass motherfucker. You know what I mean? Sorry, excuse my language, but it's true. If the shoe don't fit, I want you to take it and toss that motherfucker across the street. Bye. It's like this. It's like, this shit don't fit. Get the hell out of here. It either fits or it doesn't. That's it, people. In this life, the way things are going with our, our world and everything, I ain't wasting a second. I'd rather know now. And yeah, I am just fine being by myself. I don't need nobody. Nope. I don't need anybody. All right, so Mr. or Mrs. Just Right, you will know they are your person. They will pop into your life and you will not notice. They will just come to you. You don't have to look. Maybe some of you are on dating websites. That's fine. It should not be your main focus, though. You should be your main focus. You got a list of profiles and people, whatever. goodness, I gotta go. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for joining my vlog. Until next time, namaste.